Welcome, Wizards and Warriors, to the March of the Goblins update. This might just be the biggest update. Of course, we have a few small balance changes, 9 skins, and then an insane 21 brand new cards, one of them being a temporary card. And to finish off the video, a brand new game mode, adding 16 exclusive cards for the new game mode. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this. To start our balance changes, Spellbook Extension can now be played for free. Ability Intolerance just stops the ability, you can still charge attacks. Goblin Treasure is now 12 HP. Rusty Wizard is at 8 damage. The bees start at 0 damage on their first hit, but go up by 2 damage each hit. Lock and Key Potion now completely stops you from ever gaining HP or damage, and you can't charge attacks. Knuckle Dusters can be played on a card before they're below 5 HP, and it will activate once they're below 5 HP. Frankenstein's Monster will gain 1 damage every time it does its ability. Frog Wizard will now gain 1 damage every time it takes it from other people. Cupid now does 4 damage, but the second card he hits with half damage. Jack and Jill are now at 12 damage, and on placement, flip a coin. If it's heads, they swap HP and damage, along with, at the end of every turn, they will always swap HP and damage. The Big Bad Wolf, every third attack, is a guaranteed kill as long as you have hit the card you're trying to kill with one of the previous 2 hits. Magic Beans is getting buffed, where now you can swap the cards in your hand with either the cards in your pile or cards on your team. So if your opponent played a spell onto your team, you can play Magic Beans and swap any cards in your hand with cards on your team, even if they're not your cards, meaning this would go into your hand. You must swap a spell for a spell, and a troop for a troop. Lastly, Pumpkin Knight is getting reworked. Now you have defense that you block from all attacks. His defense is equal to 8 minus his current HP, so starting off he'll only have 2 defense that he blocks, but at 1 HP he'll have 7 defense that he blocks from all attacks. It works like Cushioned Blow, where you block damage from an attack. That is what defense is, and this is permanent defense. Moving on to the 9 skins, instead of the Bold Balloon, you can instead have the Balloon Animal. Instead of the Deputy Goblin, you can instead have the Colonel Goblin. Instead of the Appleworm, you can instead have Henry Hermit. Instead of the Watchtower, instead you can have the Lighthouse. Instead of the Tub, you can have the Hot Tub. Instead of the Outlaw Cactus, you can have the Pearl Pufferfish. Instead of the Tree, you can have the Recycled Tree. Instead of the Professional Goblin, you can have the Professional Pigeon. And lastly, for Wit, instead you can have Benson Bombsworth. Those are all the skins. Tell me which one is your favorite in the comments below. Now, onto the new cards. Starting off with the first ever temporary card that will be getting removed next update. It is, of course, Anthony Gustavo II. 9 HP, 1 damage, beep and boop. On placement, all of your teammates gain 0.5 damage for every letter in their name, and every time you attack, you double damage. Now for the more permanent cards, we have Goofy Disguise, a 2 lifespan spell. Place it on any card, classing it as an opposing card. Opponents cannot hit it, but the card it's on isn't allowed to hit opponents. Of course, your opponent does not control the card. You still control the card. Then we have Dance Party, another 2 lifespan spell. Place it on any card. All teams are not allowed to attack or charge attacks, and it runs out at the start of your next turn. Also, the cards on your team will be allowed to dance to use up a turn. Dancing does not do anything at all, except using up a turn. Starting off the March of the Goblins, we have the Goblin Jam. 14 HP, 2 damage sticky situation. Any cards you hit must hit this card the next time they attack. Sneaking into the game, the Goblin Thief. 4 HP, 0 damage with a sneaky swipe. At the end of its second turn, steal any damage and HP from teammates and give it to this card. You can steal all of the HP and all of the damage from a teammate to give it to here, but of course that would kill the teammate. Patching up the wounds, Goblin Infirmary. 10 HP, land card. After an attack kills any cards, heal any troop based on the original HP of 1 card that died. If a card between 1 and 4 HP dies, you get to add 1 HP to any card. If a card with 20 or more HP dies, you get to add 5 HP to any card you wish. All of the stats are written below. Then we have the Goblin Workshop. 11 HP, land card. At the end of your turns, roll a dice and boost the next attack of any card. You roll a 1, it's a poison attack. A 2, you have times 2 damage. 3 is a freeze attack. 4, you'll heal half of the damage you deal. 5 is a flame attack. And 6, you get to hit 2 cards with your attack. Of course, with Lucky Clover, you can go above 6, so if you ever roll a 7 or more, you get a guaranteed hit, plus any ability you get to choose. Coming from the workshop, of course, it is the Goblin Wrench. 1 lifespan spell, place it on any card and reset 1 stat, HP, damage, defense, to its original stat plus 1. Or, you can remove 1 spell or 1 status effect. That does include any buffs from a workshop. Taking hold of the game, it is, of course, the Goblin Grappler. 7 HP, 2 damage, Grabby McGrab. After attacking a card with half of your damage, you will then grab onto that card, and at the end of your turns, you'll deal damage to it, equal to this. Damage dealt to you will also damage the card you're grappled onto. And after the card you're on dies, you will go back to your team. With every type of cookie possible, it is, of course, the Goblin Girl Scout. 13 HP, 1 damage, cookie kaboom. You hit a card without dealing damage yet, and at the end of your turns, you can choose to detonate all of the cookies you've handed out, dealing their damage. But every turn you don't detonate the cookies, they double damage. So you hit somebody, and they would have a cookie that has 1 damage. If you choose to detonate it, they will all detonate. If you don't, that 1 damage turns to 2 damage, turns to 4, turns to 8, turns to 16, and when you detonate 1, they will all detonate. Knowing all 12 herbs and spices, it is, of course, the Goblin Chef. 3 HP, 12 damage with its secret sauce. This card does half damage when it attacks, but at the end of your turns, you can choose to lose damage off of this card to heal any card where 1 damage becomes 0.5 HP, along with the fact that you gain 2 damage to this card for every non-spell you place. You can turn as much or as little damage into HP as you would like. Protecting royalty, it is the Goblin Guard. 15 HP, 2 damage, Royal Protocol. After a teammate gets attacked, you can choose to redirect the hit to this card, and you get to block 2 damage from it if you choose to redirect it. Along with this card gets 3 times damage against cards that have just hit you. That means if you block an attack, and then you immediately hit the person that you blocked it from, you have 3 times damage against them. And what is a guard without royalty? Of course, the Goblin Queen. 20 HP, 2 damage, Queen's Conquest. Cards that you hit will be classed as goblins, and every third attack will set that card to 1 HP and 1 damage. Of course, if your third attack kills them, it won't set them to 1 HP and 1 damage. Goblins are known for one thing: their Goblin Greed. Permanent lifestyle spell, place it on any card at the end of your turns. That card will attack only the highest HP card, even if it's on your team, and the card you play it on is classed as a goblin. That means if you place it on a Minotaur, he will not ram an entire team, he will only hit the highest HP card, no matter who. The last goblin card this update, before the rest of them, is the Goblin Traitor. Permanent lifespan spell. Roll the dice and count across the value of the dice on your opponent's card. The card you land on is the Traitor. It works exactly like no IP. The card, that is the Traitor, will then attack anyone you choose, and then join your side permanently. But it halves HP every turn, and if they get below 1.5 HP, they will guarantee die. Rivaling the Goblin Queen, it is the Rat King. 10 HP, and you deal damage which equal to half of your HP plus 1, so at base, he's dealing 6 damage, and this works if he ever heals up or loses HP. Then we have the Frog Knight. 6 HP, 4 damage, Lily Pad Protector. This card has 15 defense that it blocks from all attacks, permanent defense. But when you attack, you lose defense equal to how much damage you dealt. So when you deal 4 damage, your defense goes down by 4. If you gave yourself a kill pill and dealt 20 damage, your defense would go down by 20. That card is also coming with the skin of the Banana Knight. 4 damage, Potassium Pummel. The next small addition to the game is, of course, the Little Paladin. 3 HP and 3 damage with his massive mace. After attacking, you gain plus 7 defense that you block from the next hit only. Once you get hit, your defense is gone. And the defense can stack, which means if you hit somebody, you have 7 defense. And then if you don't get hit, and you attack again, you get plus 7 defense, being 14 defense that you block from the next hit only. However, every 4th attack does 2 times damage, but will not give you any defense. Then we have the creator of Pinocchio and the Cuckoo Clock, the Battle Beaver. 6 HP, 4 damage with its deadly This card has 15 defense minus its current damage. And damage you block, half of it gets added to your attack. So, at the start, you would have 11 defense. With the theme, the Beaver's Dam, 11 HP land card. At the end of your turns, add 1 defense to any card, which they block from the next hit only. This can stack if they don't get hit. And whenever any cards block damage, all cards with defense / that can block damage will gain half of the damage blocked to their attacks. This includes all of the knights and includes Cushioned Blow. The last card before the new game mode is probably the highest requested card in the game. It is, of course, Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, combining their forces to have 20 HP, 2 damage, Open Sesame. Your second attack will do half damage, but will hit 3 cards that are next to each other. And its third attack will hit the 2 cards on the edges of your opponent's team. Now, it's time I introduce you guys to the new game mode. It is my pleasure to announce to you the new game mode coming to NOG is Strongholds. Each team will have 1 stronghold that they need to protect. the strongholds will come in two separate parts, the outer and inner stronghold. The inner stronghold will always have 2 less HP than the outer stronghold. All strongholds cannot be directly attacked if they have 2 or more teammates. Spells can be played onto the stronghold, but any spells on the outer stronghold will disappear when the outer stronghold goes. All strongholds will have a bonus. For instance, the castle here gives all of your cards plus 1 damage. This is the exact same for the inner stronghold. Once your inner and outer stronghold are both gone, you are out, no matter how many cards you have left. In this game mode, you can only play 1 card per turn. You are not allowed to play 2 cards per turn, along with the fact that you can only have a max of 5 cards at once, including the stronghold. You cannot have more than this. Again, strongholds cannot be directly attacked if they have 2 or more teammates. So here, with 1 teammate, Cuckoo Clock is allowed to attack the stronghold, but with 2 teammates, it is not allowed to directly attack the stronghold. Of course, cards that indirectly attack, something like Cupid's Secondary Shot, Minotaur, No I Pete, who doesn't choose who he shoots, are able to attack this card. Now, to show you all the strongholds. Remember, the inner stronghold will always have 2 less HP than the outer stronghold. Starting off, the castle, 11 HP, and all your cards will have plus 1 damage. Next, the pyramid, 13 HP, and after one of your cards die, you gain 1 HP if it is less than 20 HP. And for here, you gain 1 HP if it's less than 15 HP. Then we have the Yar, I'm on my pirate ship. 8 HP, and all of your cards will lose 1 HP, which gets given to this. That includes the cards that you start the game with, and every new card that you place. It will get given to the stronghold. We have the treehouse, 10 HP, and you can play 1 extra card for free, but then you must wait 1 turn before doing so again. For all you addicts out there, we have the casino, 9 HP, and for every your card, you must roll a d6. You will gain 1 HP for every point above 3, and lose 1 HP for every point below 4. And if you roll a 1, you lose 3 HP. If you roll a 6, you gain 3 HP, and in between. Then we have the dojo, 8 HP, and with this, you can have 2 of your cards attack at once to the same person, but you must wait 1 turn before using again. Then we have the UFOs, 8 HP, and you can remove 1 card from play for 1 turn, but then you must wait 1 turn. It's exactly like an ejector seat. Lastly, the totem pole, 7 HP, and you gain 1 defense that you block from the next attack per every non-spell that you play. This can't stack, so of course, at the start of the game when you play your first 2 cards, the next hit on this will have 2 defense that you block. Of course, that is 1 time. Once you get hit, all of the defense will go. The rest of the rules are the same, just for the changes that you can only play a max of 1 card per turn, and you can never have more than 5 cards on play. Spells can be played onto a stronghold, and they will affect it. However, when the outer stronghold is destroyed, all spells on it will be removed. This includes infections, fire, poison, anything. This is completely clean. And that is all for the biggest update we've ever had. I can't even fit it on the screen. Tell me which one of these new cards you think is going to be the best, and what do you think of the new game mode? I will tell you now, the next update might take a lot longer because I have big things planned for it. But anyway, thank you for watching, and enjoy all of your NOG.